Hello, this is Tross here, and today I am going to be playing Kerbal Space Program, and I'm going to be putting up the first part of a space station that will become the core of what I'm going to be calling Shack Station. I'm a frequent user or poster on shacknews.com, and a few people there have agreed with me that we're going to try to make a space station similar to the Goon Station that you may have seen on Scott Manley's YouTube video a week ago or so. And so there's a few players of Kerbal Space Program on Shack News, and so we decided to get together and try to do something similar. So I'm actually going to be making a new save here so that we can start off fresh. And I'm really hoping it has my saved... No, it doesn't have my saved ships here. Alright, just take a moment, because I did prepare a ship earlier. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Here it is. From the top all the way down to right here is the station. Then from this command pod, which actually is unmanned because right at the top of the station we have one of the small two-man lander pods here, and apparently the way I built this, that's the actual I guess that counts as the pod, the command pod for this whole thing. So we'll be sending up 2 Kerbals up. I'll be bringing one down in this 3-man crew pod. Kind of hard to see, but this whole gray, from the pod to the bottom of this gray, is kind of a maneuvering tug, if you will. It helps position the station core piece in space. The rest of this is kind of a 4-stage, or 5 if you want to count the solid rocket boosters, lifting vehicle. Basically, at launch, all the solid rocket boosters and 5 of the large boosters, 6 around the outside and then 1 in the center, all light off at the same time. The 6 around the outside are in 2 groups of 3, and I have fuel lines. What happened to the fuel lines? The fuel line went missing. Let me fix that right now. Good thing I looked at this at first. It's over here. So there should be... Was that it down there? It is sort of there. Look at that. Put on symmetry, and so this doesn't look as bad. I go like that. Alright, so the way this works is all the rockets are fed by 3 of the outer tanks. You can see this feeds into this group, and then this one feeds the main one. So 3 of these, this one, and this one, are fueling all the liquid rockets at launch. When they run out, they fall off, and then the other 3 fuel the remaining 4 engines, and when these outer 3 run out of fuel, they drop off, and then just the center is left, and that center is actually a little more than plenty to get you into orbit. You can then use the remaining fuel to get you in the exact orbit you want. At that point, you can drop that out, and then you're left with this little tug that has one of the, I don't know what normal large size fuel tanks left, and a small, this engine here, the small large engine, and that has enough power to orient you and move your orbit up or down a bit. See if all the action groups survived. Got solar panels there. We got some ladders and comm dishes there. Yeah. So just some quick features. We have 12 solar panels on this, basically covering every possible direction. We have a whole bunch of batteries, as you can see up here, to store solar energy. Once the tug disconnects, there's a connectotron at the bottom. We have a covered connectotron at the top. At the end of each arm is a connectotron, and then each of these arms actually has, besides a connectron at the end, there's one facing up, which actually is not a good idea. How did I do that? Anyway, there's one facing kind of around, making a spiral. And actually, I'm going to turn these up ones over real quick. No, that puts the light on the wrong side. Well, I'll fix that too. What happened there? Why? Control Z. You know what? I'm gonna leave that piece. This one I'll turn over. You gonna be a problem too? I kind of expected this one to not be fun, because the other one wasn't. Come on back. Hit undo. There we go. Oh, that undo really undoes. Alright, and then for those two, I'll move the light here down. Come on. That's probably good. Yeah, so additionally, I have all these nice lights that will illuminate the additional station parts nicely as we all connect them up. Yeah, it's pretty much looking good. We have a extra hitchhiker module here, and also one down near the bottom. There's a ladder running up, basically up the whole thing, to make maneuvering around easy. We got some communication dishes here. We got some antennas that will come out off of here, along with the solar panels. So everything I think to make a good core of a space station. So let's rename this because that's what I was just calling when I was testing it. Oh yeah, we have a whole giant fuel tank here with some small maneuvering thrusters. Not that we should be needing to move the station around much. The only problem is this is a bit tricky to take off. It's just about the largest ship that you can take off without an issue. The reason why these arms up here are tricky because I had to rotate this whole thing. Originally, when I built it, these solid rocket boosters, the point was kind of directly down this way, and so it was hitting the launch platform as we were taking off. Yeah, so that's about all the features of the ship I've built here. So let's take this up into space and start a space station. Yeah, as I was saying, well, maybe I wasn't saying, but I want to put this, I think, at 150 kilometers up, and I want to have it directly in, on the 90-degree, around the equator. To do that, actually, I'm going to line it up with the moon's orbit, because the moon, I believe, is directly on 90 degrees. So I can set the moon as my target, and then see if the ascending node or descending node is, different from 0 degrees. It should say 0 degrees. I'd be happy with, a tenth of a degree, but I'll try to get as close as possible to that, and I'll try to get it, exactly circular at 150 kilometers up. I think that's not too high, but it's high enough that it, gives you some room. And I'll be facing it directly north-south. From what I've heard, that makes it a little easier to dock, because if you're not directly north-south, your ship tends to roll. I mean, even north-south it will roll, but the north end and the south end will always be pointing in the same direction, so it will be much easier to dock at the two ends of the space station. You can still dock on the side, you just have to worry, because as you're trying to line up, the ship will roll in relation to the ground, and kind of makes it a little trickier to dock at the side, but that's the plan. So I'm gonna hit launch, and let's see, hit launch. And here we go, I think. So, and something bad happened. That's what happened there. Structural failure. Apparently not. Oh, one of them's still there. SAS, and we'll be launching in 3, 2, 1, liftoff. Oh, what's... That isn't... That's not good at all. And you know what? Something's a little worrisome here. And that center engine doesn't seem like it's actually hooked up right. Alright. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's fatal. What happened with the staging? I copied the file. I mean, I flew this ship just yesterday as a test, but apparently something happened when copying the file over to this. Well, everything going back down. They aren't going to survive as there's no parachutes. No, I don't want to track it. I want to. Lots of parts. Anyhow, they're on a short flight here. Let's end it. Three, 2, 1, launch. Why is that engine not showing? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why are you not? Where did the engine go? That. Here's the solids, drop them away. Let's see. 7 plumes. Got all the engines firing. And we are rotating around here a bit. There's the one set of liquids. Drop them off. Oh, crap. I accidentally hit shift and throttle up all the way. Yeah, we're falling. And we need to lift off again. Yeah, that is really wobbly in the air. Look at that. Anyhow, this ship's dead, so... Oh, crappity crap. Yeah, I think that was a little too much shaking and something broke loose. This isn't gonna help us, but this time we did have the chutes still attached. Not that, I wonder... He grab on? He is on. And he... Oh, he's not exactly on the ladder. Why does he fall faster? Oh well. Okay, it looks like I have to go back to the drawing board and see what's wrong with this ship. I guess I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later. Alright, I'm back, and I've made a few tweaks. Not really much has changed, just some strategically placed supports. I got a few up here, and that's about it mostly. Well, a few up there, there's a few in between these little fuel tanks to keep them from breaking apart. But gonna try going with this. All right, we got SAS on, throttle up, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. Now, it's still gonna wobble a bit, but hopefully we should not be seeing like the parts looking like they're disconnecting, because that's not good. Alright, we got Alan Kerman and Gus Kerman. And we're going up pretty good. 3,000 meters, yep. And we're going 40 meters per second at this point. Solids are almost finished. Dropping them off in a few seconds. There we go. Disconnect. And here goes the first set of liquid tanks. and engines. Alright, and about 15 kilometers, I'm going to make a slight gravity turn. I did test this off screen, and I did get into space, had a little bit of an issue getting to orbit, but I'm going to be making the gravity turn a little earlier than I did in that flight, so I'm hoping that will be the difference that helps us get into orbit. And here I am attempting to make the gravity turn, but she's not helping. It's just about 90 there. Looks like it went over to about 80 degrees. Not that much, but the extra horizontal push that gives us, I think, will help. I'll go down to maybe 65 at 30,000 feet. Yeah, we're actually doing nicely on the speed. Let's right 30. Yeah, trying to maneuver, just increasing the roll rate. Let's see how we're looking on the orbital map here. Yeah, alright, we're gonna leave the atmosphere, we're coasting, and we're doing pretty good. Last set of stages here, almost out of fuel. Alright, I am throttled down, and let me set the SAS here. And come on. Good. No, let's turn on RCS. Throttled down makes it a lot harder. And no, I don't want to go vertical. Why are you? There we go. I want to go basically horizontal at this point. Slow down. Come on back. Throttle up a bit. Don't want to throttle up too much more than this. Alright, stay right there. Last time I did, and basically it caused, you can see the ship is flexing now, caused the ship to flex itself apart. Basically these two fuel tanks down here at the bottom are nearly full, and we need to use that fuel to gain orbital speed. Top out about 140, so right now slowly going up. That's perfectly fine. I just need to increase my orbital speed to achieve an orbit here. You can see it is going up, but we need that at almost 2100 meters per second, and it's only going up so fast. But we're looking pretty good on our heading. Let's turn off RCS. Maybe that will reduce the flexing. Hopefully, just the SAS itself will be able to hold our position. Do have a lot of propellant fuel here. This should be coming. Oh, no. I hate to lower the throttle. We need a speed, but let's stop flexing if I turn off SAS. I'm manually aiming this here. About 500 more meters per second. Hopefully what remains in this engine will be able to get us there. And, still approaching Apoapsis. You can see my rise rate is dropping. In fact, it's just going to hit 0, which means now I'm at Apoapsis. And now we've just passed it. And we're actually getting really close to orbital speed here, so that's awesome. I just need to keep us, and there we go. Let's turn on SAS. Check that stage. Set SAS. Come on. Probably not quite in an orbit, but I'm probably pretty close. Check on this as soon as I get oriented properly. There, that's pretty good. And yeah. And next stage. Now, this is a much shorter ship, so the flexing should be handled much better now. Alright, I want to stop this just before 50,000. Actually can throttle up here. Let's fall. Because this engine does not have an overheating problem, as the big one did. So actually, yeah, I should be watching the Apoapsis. I want to stop that at 50,000. $50.75 is great, well within my margin of error. So I'll orbit over to the Apoapsis and then raise the periapsis. And this is that last engine that I disconnected, and it's actually very nice that I didn't achieve orbital speed, so it will just decay and fall back and burn up. So let's plan a maneuver here that I'll use to hopefully achieve our final orbit in one maneuver. So there's a few things I want to do here. I want to move the periapsis up to practically the same height, 50,000 to 50,075. At the same time, while we look pretty good, and we look darn good, I'm going to set my target to the moon. This, well, it does one thing for us. It shows us our ascending node and descending node. And we're off by 0.3 degrees, and we can make that nicer, better. What does that mean? That means that we are not coplanar. In fact, the plane I'm on intersects. I guess it's kind of hard. You can think of. You can see this. You can't see the mouse. I'm using DxTory to record this, and it doesn't record the hardware mouse position. But if you look at Minimus's orbit, you can think of that as an exaggerated version of our orbit. So our orbit is coming up and crosses the moon's orbit, and it does that right on this line here, the dotted line. Actually, that's incorrect. You can see here in front is the descending node, which means we are coming from above and going below at that point. So to correct that, yeah, if you see, our orbit is slightly up on this side and slightly down on this side. And it is off by 0.3 of a degree. So I want to correct that as well. So I'm going to add a maneuver here. Bug itself to fix. You have to tug on at least one of the controls before rotating. Alright, so I want to pull this out until periapsis. Yep. 48. 50, 64. A little more than I would want. At least it would bring our apoapsis up more than I wanted. Otherwise, oh, going the wrong way. Nope, that was. Very, very sensitive. 6, 48. Oop. So it's 5071. That brings that up to 50. 600, which is not what I need. Yeah, usually when they're at perpendicular to where you started is when they're closest. 90. That's great. Okay. Now to correct the descending node, I want to. Well, that'll be a second maneuver actually. The only place you can correct ascending or descending is at the ascending or descending node. If you try to do it at other spots, you wind up correcting it, but you also end up rotating where it is. You can't fully correct it at other spots. You can get it closer, but because you're always orbiting the center of the Earth, if this ascending and descent or Kerbin, you're always orbiting the center of mass of whatever it is you're orbiting. If you try to correct it at another location, your orbit you're already below or above the orbital plane, so you can't fully line it up. You can make it less of an angle a bit to a point, but since your orbit is not lined up with the orbit you want to match and the center of mass, there's no way to fully correct for it. So I'm going to put in a second maneuver here, and I did it again, not tugging on something first. And since we're descending, I want to raise our orbit a bit. And now really the only way to do this is to just eyeball it and make sure it's looks the same on both sides, same amount of space between the orbit you're trying to match. And to me, that looks good. I can't tell how many. Is that 27 meters per second for this orbit, for this maneuver? If I click on the other one, I think that's just 27 for the first one. And can't really tell how much this one is. Basically, as far as I understand, prograde and retrograde burns are generally they use the least fuel, where all the others either vertical but still along parallel to the horizon uses more, and then either towards or away from the center of mass, I believe, use even more than that for the amount of change that they actually do to your orbit. Alright, so that's all the orbital planning. Looks like 2 maneuvers, and that should end up just within a that'll be periapsis. Let's add one more maneuver here to bring the apoapsis down. That'll be 100 meters. That's pretty darn good. And none of this is going to be that accurate, so we got 3 maneuvers lined up. Let's point to the first one. Turn on RCS for low help. Yeah, that's much easier to maneuver. And after those 3 maneuvers, I'm gonna maneuver one of the Kerbins into this tug and return them to the surface. Let's, no, I'm not accelerating. There we go. Yeah, time warp. We got 18 minutes. Let's stop with like 2 minutes to go. Alright, slow down. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna start the burn at, say, 20 seconds ago. Let's see. Right on. There we go. And I'm not gonna burn it full. I'm gonna try to burn until 20 seconds post, because this works out a lot better if you burn on equal sides of the node. Starting at the node, not a good idea. So we got 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is going to be a really short burn, so I want to the maneuver assumes all the thrust occurs exactly at the node, but obviously the burns actually take real amounts of time, so you kind of want to. Alright, that should be pretty darn good. Alright. Next, in 5 minutes, this should be pointing directly north. Let's turn on SAS. Yep, and it is pointing directly north. I knew that because I only pulled up, and since we're orbiting practically east-west, up is directly north. We're skewed at a particular angle. Actually, we are slightly skewed, and that's what this is. Burn is here to correct, but the amount it's skewed is apparently practically invisible on the nav ball. Alright, and that looks... Alright, this is only estimated to be a 5-second burn, so I'll start it like 3 seconds before the node. So in the meantime, turn off SAS. And this is actually the direction I want to orbit in. As you can see, the ends will be easy to dock with in this orientation, but the arms will be a little tricky. But we kind of want to make the ship longer, I think. More than we want to go out wide. But going out wide will be fun too. Alright, let's got 19 seconds. Back to real time. Line up there. We'll pass. 4. Yeah. Estimate wasn't that great. I think I went a little past, but oh, 1 degree. A little past, but I think that's pretty darn good. We're at 49.8 to 51. Alright, I'm going to move this maneuver and readjust it. And looks like we'll need one more maneuver. That apoapsis is a little low. Alright. No, I don't want that high. No, let's cancel that. I did not want to do that at all. Alright, and the maneuver. Or maybe 50-50. 150-50. And that's way too high. 150-48, that's great. And then add a maneuver here. And I'm hoping we'll raise the period axis. Stop here, what do we got? There is a slider to adjust the sensitivity of these controls. I should look into that. And that's just about perfect, what I want. The 100 meters, that's pretty darn circular. Okay, so let's point at that. And RCS, that'll help. That's funny, it seems to be moving all around as I thrust. Oh, wow, this is 0.2 meters per second. That's like a nothing burn. Let's hold it there. That's really strange. As soon as I fast forwarded, it jumped. Alright, I'm gonna fast forward to right about. Just using the SAS to orient. Yeah, it looks better right on the line there. Shouldn't be thrusting up and down as far as I know. And I am going to do this burn, quote unquote burn. Stop right there. Alright, turn this off. RCS on. 4. And yes, I did that burn completely with RCS as it was only a meter per second. And see how that looks. $15. Alright, we gotta raise the other side. Alright, again, this will be a 0.2 meter per second burn, if you can call it a burn. Looks like it's up here. I'm just gonna roughly point here. And oh, come on, slow down, slow down. Alright. I'm gonna fast forward till about, yeah, and then it's back on the line there. About a minute to go. Back on the sunny side, to be practically opposite part of our orbit. 4, 3, 2, slow down. 1, just about. Alright, let's go real time. Re-aim. That's the wrong way. Alright, I'm going to turn RCS on. 5, 4, surface 2, burning. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty closely lined up. So what is our final orbit? 49,963 by 150.85. That's I'm gonna call that close enough. At this point, you know, minor differences. Alright, the only thing left to do is point directly north, deploy our solar panels and docking parts, and I think I'm gonna have Gus Herman take the tug and return to Kerbal. Alright, come on, where are we going? Alright, I'm going to stick you right on the north dot, and it's kind of a little cheap, but if you fast forward a bit, it kind of locks your direction. Alright, let's get this set up. Oh, there's the moon. I set up some action keys. Let's see if they work. First action key to deploy the solar energy panels. Works nicely. And then I have another one that opens the dishes and extends the ladders. Yeah, apparently I never set one up for all the ports, but let's open all the docking ports here. Oop. Oh! That should have opened the... Well, we still do have plenty of solar power. Speaking of power, let's light this place up. Can we retract? Okay. I got one port up here. And then there's one underneath this docking clamp. Alright. So we're missing 2 panels. I wonder why both left. I think only the one that the doors actually directly hit would have been affected. Looks like they're slowly drifting off, so. And, oh yeah, these little antenna, besides the dishes, these little antennas that extended out. Only one did. Alright, let's extend the rest. And, don't, yeah, you're fine. Okay. I'm gonna leave Alan Kerman on the station, and I'm gonna now transfer Gus into the tug, since that's not needed anymore, and return him to the surface of Kerbal. And I'm EVA. Here we are. Let's space select go. I'm gonna pull RCS back. Let's move you away from the station. Don't need any more mishaps. Get too far away here. And it's my luck. The door's on the other side. Actually, with all the lights, there's a ladder. Oh, on top. Forward, down. Forward. Decouple. And switch. Turn on RCS. Slowly back away. Quickly line up. And say goodbye to the station. Oh yeah, you can see the panels have already moved pretty far off. in-flight rearranging the staging. So, just you know what, I'm gonna cross a little bit more than that. Kind of hard to see exactly where. That should be awesome. So I'm dropping pretty fast. Get that orbital maneuver. Yeah, I think that's, don't need this engine anymore. So, going to stage, and hopefully it will be the capsule with the parachutes. Not yet deployed. Let's see what happens. Well, I think that started stage 2. Alright, and get in a heat shield down position, assuming there is a heat shield on the bottom of the capsule. Going to be coming down. The plan is near Kerbal Space Center. Not sure how this will show up on YouTube. But you can see there's kind of like 2 blinking pixels, at least I can see them. The one is the landing strip on the island out in the water, and the other is Kerbal Space Center. That's the one just above the capsule right now. And oh, there you see the dot. Looks like I'm going to fall short a bit. But I'll be pretty darn close. Probably slowed up slightly too much. Although, still coming in vertically good clip. Now we're hitting the thicker part of the atmosphere. I'm gonna fall short. G-forces increasing. Hit the air. Just staying out of the red zone. Comes back down about 5,000. I'll pop the parachutes, and then they'll slow me up to a safe speed and deploy at 500 feet. Alright, let's back down to 2 Gs. Parachutes open, or at least out, and drag. The only problem is they're kind of low, so I'm hoping the ship doesn't flip over when they deploy. Down, slowing down. Definitely, yeah. Under 100 meters per second, and we're pretty safe. Even above 100 meters, probably good to 150 meters per second. Yeah, there, parachutes go, and as I feared, capsule flipped over, but we can right ourselves again, and SAS No, it's not quite holding us, but air coming down nice, and 20 kilometers away, approximately, from Kerbal Space Center, which is not bad at all. Not with that kind of fast turnaround. Or fast plan for landing. Alright, we're getting real close to the ground, so I want to try to make sure. Here we go. Yeah, that coupler. Alright. Let's go to the tracking station. We got station core, we got a lot of parts, but let's go back to the station core. Yeah, and still here, Alan Kerman. Just hanging out. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be putting up the save and pass it on to the next person to add it on to the Shack station. And thanks for watching. Bye.